Hi, welcome back to my eBay bench. Today is August 1st. So tonight I'm going to quickly go over the July financials, tell you exactly how much money I made last July, last month, and how that stacks up to the rest of the year and how that stacks up to the previous year. And then I'll tell you my 4 or 5 best sales of the month, and then I'll pack up the orders that came today and we'll see how much money we're making in the month of August to start with. So it's a spoiler warning, it's been a slow sales day already. So this month is not starting out great, but July ended up fine. So for the entire month, I made $3,366. So that's basically the same amount that I made in January, February, and March. So this month, this year, it started out pretty good. By April, it was quite a bit more. It was like over $1,000 more than any of those months. So I was hoping that April would be an indicator of how the rest of the year was going to go. But actually, June took a nosedive. Let me get my spreadsheet open and I'll tell you what happened. So basically, January, February, March made $3,360 to $70 each of those months. Then April came, I made $4,367 for April. So just a slightly over $1,000 more than the other months. Then May dropped down all the way to $2,200. So less than the other 2 months. June, $3,100. So not as good as the other months, but not as bad as it felt like during June, but definitely not good enough to reach the $50,000 goal that I'm trying to go for. So let's see, let's quickly do this math. I'm going to open a calculator and I'll tell you 5,000 divided by clear, start over. 3 divided by 12 equals, no, not that. 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, divided by 1, 2 equals. So basically I have to be making $4,200 every month in order to reach that $50,000 goal for the year. So I am about $500 below that each month except for April. July started out slow. I thought it was going to be just as bad as April and May, but by the end, it did pretty good. $3,366. It's not $4,200, so we need to get quite a bit more money for every month for the rest of the year. But compared to last July, that's over $1,200 better than I did in 2024 in July. So not too bad. I'm gonna just keep hoping that things are gonna do better. That we'll do a lot better in the fourth quarter. And we'll get to 50 grand, but if we hit 45,000 something, 45,360, that's my prediction, what I think we're going to make for the year. And that's like the realistic number I think we're going to get. If we can hit that number, I'll be happy. If we can hit $50,000, I'll be much happier. Okay, I'm going to tell you the best sales of the month, and I'm going to pop up the picture of each of these items as I go over them. So, okay, number 1 item this month. There's only 5 items in the whole month that sold for over $100. So I need to be finding better inventory and getting people to buy better inventory. So I bought this Louis Vuitton wallet. It's a small one, has a red button on it, which I think makes it a little bit rare compared to the plain gold or brown, whatever color the normal one is. Anyway, I got it at a garage sale and I only paid $25 for it. They wanted $30. I didn't really know. I assumed it was probably fake, and so I offered them $25. They took that offer. I'm guessing that somebody in that household that was having the sale got this thing for a gift or something, because this is about, brand new. I think this is about a $600 or $700 wallet, which is wild to me. But I sold it for $270, and then after fees and everything, it brought home a profit of $209. So that was the best sale of the month for sure. The second best sale is a pair of rock tumblers, like industrial quality rock tumblers. I think they're also used for polishing brass, and I think they're popular with hunters or other people who shoot guns. They polish their bullet casings or whatever. So I got these for free from a guy on, I can't remember if it was Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, probably Facebook. So he was cleaning out his basement. I think he said his uncle, it was a house where his uncle used to live, and his uncle left a bunch of stuff, and he wanted me to take these things. I took the 2 rock tumblers and some like grinding powders and stuff. I sold one little bit of that, but I still have some of that in the garage that I never even looked at. So I should probably see about how much that stuff might be worth. Anyway, I got them for nothing, totally free, just the time to go visit a man and haul some stuff off of his porch. And he was real close by here, only about a 2-minute drive for me. Anyway, I sold them for $245. So, you know, people give away stuff all the time that they could be making money on. I'm happy to take it. You know, if they need help getting their house cleaned out, I'll help them with that for $245 profit. Well, profit, that's what I sold it for. Profit-wise, this is after eBay fees, after shipping, after basically those 2 things. You know, the eBay fees can add up. They're not as high as people will lead you to believe. I think that they're actually pretty reasonable for what eBay offers me. I'm happy to pay them 12 to 15% of my sale. Anyway, after that stuff, fees and shipping, I earned $204 on that. Okay, next up is a tripod head. It's a Manfrotto or Manfrotti. I can't remember for sure. Manfrotto. You'll see it on the screen. I got this from Craigslist or Facebook. It probably was Facebook. It was a guy who was giving away a bunch of rolls of backdrop paper, photography backdrop. These big rolls that I should probably try to sell those too, although they would be pretty difficult to ship. I just saw them, I knew they were valuable, and I decided I would take a trip and get them. And this guy was far away. I think it was about a 40-minute drive. It didn't seem like it was that far when I looked on the map, but by the time I got halfway there, I was like, geez, man, this guy lives clear out here. Anyway, on the way there, I looked at some of the other listings that he had on Facebook Marketplace. So he was giving these rolls of paper away, but he had some other stuff for sale. So one of those things was this tripod head. I looked that up and saw that it was worth a good amount of money, and he was asking like $45 for it, and I think it was worth like between $200 and $300. So I told them, I like to do this. If somebody's giving away something for free, I'll see if they have something that they're selling, and then maybe I'll buy it if it's worth thinking about selling. Sometimes I'll buy it just if it's cheap enough, just to help them out, you know, get something out of their house, give them a little money and in exchange for all this free stuff they're giving me. If I had to buy something for $25 and I've got $500 worth of free stuff, then it's a win-win for both of us. So I offered to buy this. When I got there, he said, you know, I have 2 of these if you want to buy the other one too. I said, yeah, absolutely, I will. So he charged me $60 for the 2 tripod heads. One of them was worth $220. The other one I thought was, I mean, it looks identical. I don't know what's different about these tripod heads, but one of them is only worth like $75. So, but still, $30 into $75, that's not too bad. So that, I ended up selling that for $220. So in this case, I had the $30 cost of goods plus the eBay fees plus the shipping labels. So I ended up making $161 on that. So that was a pretty good sale. I was happy with that one. That order came in after hours, after I had already shut down my packing video for the night. So you didn't see that one get packed up. I did post about it in my community post there. So if you want to hear about it, you can look there. Okay, this one actually was a better sale than that one, but I have my list out of order. So this was a Yashica Mat camera. It's like a twin lens reflex camera. This is probably from the 60s, maybe the late 50s, maybe even the 70s, probably mid 60s though. It's a beautiful camera, and is a kind of a camera that I've always kind of had my eye on for myself. A large format film camera. It's probably like a 6x6 centimeter film. So medium, I guess it's a medium format camera. I used to shoot a lot of film on what they call pseudo twin lens cameras, which I'm not going to get into it, but they don't have the same control as a camera like this. And I was pretty excited to get this at an estate sale. I was checking out, maybe I had already paid, and then I saw it was sitting on the counter right in front of the cashier at an estate sale. And they wanted $175 for it. I was assuming it was worth more than that, so I went ahead and paid that $175 for it. I've had it listed for quite a while. I can't remember the exact length of time, but probably more than a year. And I had it listed on Facebook. I had cross-listed there as well. And somebody contacted me through Facebook. They were happy to pay the asking price that I had for it, which was $350. So I had no eBay fees out of that. So in this case, I paid $175 for it. I sold it for $350 and I made $175. So I guess that's the third highest sale, and then the tripod head would have been the fourth. And then the fifth one, this is the last item I sold that was over $100, and it was a first American edition of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the hardcover book. I don't remember the date on it. I don't know when that book came out, but this was the first American edition. I found this in a pile of books that somebody was giving away for free. I didn't think too much of it until I got home. I just grabbed it because it looked cool, and I thought, well, whatever, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and hardcover might be worth something. And it turned out it was. I probably could have asked a little bit more for it, but I don't want to get greedy. I want to sell this thing and get it moving. So I think they were selling, and also the dust jacket was not in the best condition. I saw worse condition ones, but this one was a little bit ragged. This is another one that never got filmed packing because it was sold after hours. And so I sold it for $125. It was like at midnight. I sold it for $125. So I was happy with that sale. It was $0, so there's no cost of goods on that. And then after eBay fees and shipping label and everything, I earned $103. So those are the 5 best sales of July, and my total breakdown of the month of July. So this is how much money I'm making: $3,000, approximately $3,300, $3,400 a month. Seems like that's where it's going to stay for the year until we get to fourth quarter, where I hope it's going to be double that. That might be wishful thinking, but maybe it would be double that. Okay, that's it for now. As far as financial information, I have it's 3 orders. 2 of them are going to the same buyer. I'm going to pack those up in a second, and then when we're done packing, I'm going to buy labels, and then we'll talk about exactly how much money these 3 items earned for us, and if we're starting out August on a good foot or on a bad foot. So stick around to the end and you'll see exactly how much money we made today. So hold on for 1 second. Okay, I pulled these 3 items out of my inventory, and I'm gonna quickly, before we pack them, add yesterday's sales to this tally board. So there were 6 sales yesterday. There were 7, but one of them we lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm glad I didn't pack these. In last night's video, I was talking about how I was going to save these skis and pack them up in the morning, which would have been this morning. These I sold for $130. They had free shipping on them, so I was only going to earn probably about $60 maybe on these, which that's fine. I'm happy to make $60. After I shut the video down last night, I started making this box to pack them in. So I just put like four of these boxes together. I used a hot glue gun to stick them together, and then I'll tape the whole thing up after the fact. So I got that far, and then I thought, well, I'll save the rest of this till the morning. This morning I woke up and I had a cancellation request for those skis. So that's why July's numbers dropped down a little bit by about, I would say, $60. And there is one other return that hasn't been delivered yet. So when that gets back, we'll lose a little bit of money on that, but it's a very cheap item. And I am pretty certain I'm not going to be able to give this guy a full refund when it's light bulbs. When they arrive, he requested a refund because he just didn't need them. So he bought these light bulbs for like $11 and then wanted to send them back. I thought it was probably, I was assuming this is a guy who was just trying to get free light bulbs, and he thought I would probably just refund his money rather than pay for a shipping label to get it back to me. But I wasn't about to do that even for $11. I sent him the shipping label, and it took him maybe 2 weeks. I thought for sure I'm never gonna get these labels back because it took a little while, but I saw yesterday that they were they had been shipped. So they're on the way back. I'm gonna lose about 11 bucks. I'm not gonna refund his original shipping money, so I don't know how much that's gonna be. And I have a sneaking suspicion he's gonna pack it improperly and they're gonna break in the mail. I just have a feeling, because almost every item I've ever gotten back or returned was not packed as well as I packed it to get it out. In most cases, almost every case, they've shipped it back in a different package, which seems so weird to me that I would take the time to send you a perfectly sized and stuffed package, and then you would send it back to me in a different box. Okay, let's just go through these sales. My phone is on the fritz tonight. I don't know what's going on. All day today it kept telling me you've tried to put your password in too many times. You put a wrong password in. So therefore you won't be able to use your phone for, first it was like 30 seconds. And then the next time it happened, it was like 2 minutes. And then the next time it happened, it was 15 minutes. And then it happened again, and it was 40 minutes. And then it happened again, and it said 2 hours. And I was very disappointed, because I wanted to do a lot of eBay work tonight, and I rely on the camera on my phone to do that. So it seems like there's no way around it except just to wait the 2 hours, which is going to be like midnight or 12:30 or maybe even 1 o'clock. Every time I would try to fix it, it would start over 2 hours again. So I was looking into it, and it seems like it's possible. There's a glitch. It's like if you added a new app and the app causes some kind of a glitch, it could be trying to log in even though you're not actually doing it. I don't know what's going on, but as soon as I can get that phone open again, I'm gonna just turn off my password. Nobody gets access to that phone except me, so I'm not that worried about somebody getting into it. So I'm going to be using the computer here to look at, I usually look at the orders on my phone, but today I have to use the computer. So I'm going to try to avoid showing you if there's a lot more information on here than there is on the phone. Okay, so right now, first sale of the day is these 3 pieces. These are like replacement pieces from a board game. It's called Horrified. It's basically based on the Universal monsters. So Frankenstein, Wolfman, Dracula, the Mummy, and then I think Creature from the Black Lagoon. So these are just cardboard pieces. I don't know exactly what they're for. I bought this board game and it was incomplete, so I'm just selling off the replacement parts over time. Usually these kind of sales take a long time, so I was happy to get this sale today, even though it's $6.99 plus I think $6 something in shipping. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm gonna put it in this envelope and get it out to somebody, and then hopefully they can play their game. I bought another board game maybe last weekend when I was out with my brother, and I thought I paid $30 for it at a garage sale, which is pretty high for a garage sale board game. I thought it was worth like $400 or $500, so I was perfectly happy to pay that 30 bucks. But then once I started doing research, I made this mistake before, that there's different variations of this game. So I've got the standard edition, there's a deluxe edition, and I think there's like a Kickstarter edition. There's also a bunch of, whatever you call it, expansions for the game. So what I was looking at when I was researching was the deluxe edition, and that one was selling for like $400 and $500. This one, I think I still can get $75 for it. I'm gonna list it for $75 anyway, which that's not a return on investment I'd be looking for most of the time, like $30. If I buy something for $30, I probably want to sell it for at least $130. In this case, I'll sell it for $75, and I'll probably make $25. I might make $35 on that. I'm not sure, but I'll sell it. What's this game called? Horrified. So I don't have all the information. Let's see. I bought this game in October of last year, and I think this is probably the first part of it that has sold. It's only 2 ounces and 8 by 5 by 1. It's going to be, who's it going to? Why doesn't this show me? I'm trying not to show anybody's addresses or anything. BBB. I don't like to give away too much. Okay, now we have these 2 KitchenAid pieces. This is a meat grinder attachment, food grinder, and this one is a orange juicer. The same buyer bought these for their KitchenAid, and then contacted me and and said, before I pay for this, can you send me an invoice for the shipping cost? Now, if she had purchased them, if she had put them in a shopping cart, and then I honestly don't know how it works for them to get combined shipping prior to buying. Typically in my store, people will buy 2 or 3 things, and then I will just reimburse them the extra shipping cost that they paid. I just give them a partial refund for their sale. I'm putting some bubble wrap in here to keep these things from moving around too much in the box. So I told her, go ahead and just buy it, and then I will reimburse you the overage. And then I realized that she was an international buyer, so she's buying these from Australia. And so I don't have any control over eBay's, these go through the eBay International Shipping Program. I don't have any control over the cost of those. I can't control the cost they pay for that shipping. I don't have any way of doing that. So after I had already told her I was going to give her some money back, I realized I probably wasn't going to be able to. So I responded again and said, maybe you should just cancel these 2 orders, and then I will combine them together in one order, and you can buy it. They're not going to fit in this. There's no way. I'm just going to use one of these 12 by 12. So this is going all the way to Australia, so I want to put it in a decent box, So I told her that this is the option, we'll cancel these orders, and then I'll make a new listing that has both of these items together. Because I don't know how much it costs to ship eBay International Shipping all the way to Australia, but I know it's expensive. So I told her, let's cancel the order. I'll relist it. And then before she did that, she just paid for it. And then, so eBay automatically combined the shipping on it. So I looked at if you look at if you get an international shipping order and you want to know how much the buyer paid, you can look at the packing sheet, the packing slip that eBay offers. I never use those packing slips, but there is an option to print a packing slip to put in every box. I don't do it. I figure it's like just a waste of paper, and people really just want the stuff that they bought. I've never wanted a packing slip. I guess if you're buying for a business, you might need it, in which case you could ask for it, but I'm not gonna just include those. It's too much work and too much paper. I don't wanna waste all that paper. I probably don't need to do this, but I'm tying these together with stretch wrap. So anyway, she bought it. eBay did combine the shipping for her, and I looked at how much she paid on that packing slip, and it was like $42 she paid for shipping. So really, that's probably like what she would have paid if she just bought one of these. I'm sure it would be pretty close to that. So now I have to make the judgment call whether I want to refund any of her money or not, because I'm getting paid about $9 to ship these to the eBay International Shipping Hub. That's pretty close to here, Glenview Heights. I can't remember if it's Glenview or Glendale, but anyway, it's pretty close to here. So I'm gonna see how much it's gonna cost me to ship these, and then I might refund some of her money, but it's gonna be a very little amount, like maybe $4. So hopefully she's not too disappointed, but she also sent me offers on these. So she got them for a discount already. Okay, my wife brought this paper home today from work. This is something that she put up as a display where she works. So they took that display down and she brought the paper, so I'm gonna use it for packing paper. This stuff's going all the way to Australia, so I do wanna pack it pretty well. I wanna pack everything well, but this is a long trip. She uses some heavyweight paper there for this kind of stuff. I don't know. I do basically the same job she does, similar job anyway. So my paper that I use isn't as high quality as this. She just asked me today to clean her car out, get all the boxes and stuff she brought home for me. Oh boy. Yeah, this paper is intense. I can barely even squeeze it in here. There were some staples in here where it was stuck up, so I'm gonna try to get them out where I can. There's not too many. I think that's it. So yeah, this will be going to the eBay International Shipping Hub and then on to Australia after that. So this is a good program that eBay has. I like it. I think they make it seems like they must be making money, but I'm not really sure how they are, because of how, it has to be expensive to pay people to do all this extra work, shipping these packages on to foreign countries. And I'm pretty sure they farm it out to another company that is specializes in international shipping. So if they have to pay that company, how much money are they making off of it? They must be making something. I don't have the first idea how much it would cost to ship this box to Australia if I just did it myself. But this buyer is paying $42. I mean, that doesn't feel expensive to me. Australia is as far away from here as you can get. KitchenAid, 4.8, 4 pounds. I'm just gonna put 5. And this is 13 by 13 by 11, pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'll get this out and this little guy out. So I'll be buying the labels here in a second, and then I'll come right back and tell you how much money we made on these 2 items. Okay, that was pretty quick, and these 2 packages are ready to go. I think I'll just deliver these to the post office myself tomorrow. It doesn't feel prudent to just put 2 packages out for my carrier and make her come over here if she doesn't have to. So let's go over how much money we made, and it's not great. This is not a good start to August by any stretch. So the board game pieces, Universal Monsters, that brought in $7.05 profit. So that's $4.41 for Ground Advantage. eBay offered me the eBay standard envelope, which I wouldn't have thought board game pieces would be a category that would be acceptable for that. So I was surprised to see that. There's no way those pieces would go into a standard envelope in a way that would be safe to get them to their destination. So I went ahead and just bought the $4.41 label rather than the one that was like $1, the cheaper one. Do I need to save $3? Make a $7 sale into a $10 sale? It's not worth it. So I'm just going to ship these for $4 and get them on their way. Okay, and then this is a little complicated because I have 2 sales here, so I split up some of the cost of the shipping and the eBay fees and whatever between the 2 sales. One of those KitchenAid items sold for $37. The other one sold for $24. But then, like I said, I put the different fees on different ones, and so one of them earned about $19. They both earned about $19, $19.30 and $19.17. So that buyer paid. Well, I got paid for shipping $9.42. That's what eBay assumed. They took these 2 separate orders and decided this is how much the weight of them was and this is how big the package was. And they decided it was going to be $9.42 for me to send this to Glendale Heights, to the international shipping hub. But it actually cost me about $1.50 more, $1.40-ish. $10.86 I spent for shipping on that. So I will not be giving a refund for to the buyer for any overage paid, because there really wasn't any. In fact, it cost me more to ship than than I got paid. So I'm not going to do that refund. So right now we're starting out the month. We would like to start the month with a big $500 sale or something, but we actually started it with $45.52. So we can't have too many days like this for the rest of the year, or we're not going to get anywhere near the goals that we're trying to make for profit. So that's it for tonight. $45 is worth it. $45 today. Maybe we'll make $300 tomorrow. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for tonight. If you want to stick around and see if I do, by any chance, by any miracle, make it to $50,000 this year, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. It makes me feel good when I see that number tick up, and I'm pretty small still, so please come along with me on this trip. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching.